So we are officially in the last week of the transfer window, and as you can expect, a lot is going to happen if we know how the transfer window normally ends up, in the final stages. But still, there's a lot to discuss so far since our last episode, and it's time to talk about the best and latest developments in the transfer world over the past couple of days. And first off, Victor, one of the biggest news, making the round so far, Arsenal finally announced Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace in a £60 million deal for plus 7.5 million extra in add-ons on a 5-year contract. How would you rate this signing?
Well, based on the fact that I can only assume you're grinning from ear to ear for this one, yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it's a very good signing, and I think this and maybe if they manage to not have Ødegaard and Saka out for too long after their injuries yesterday, I think they can overtake Villa for my predictions as to title challengers, right? So I'm rating this one 8.5. I think he's got better numbers than pretty much anyone at Arsenal for a lot of important statistics, and he's definitely improving the team, especially if he starts in that left flank.
Yeah, fair enough. And moving on, it seems like Manchester United, the board seems to have been watching some of our videos because now they are proceeding in talks to get Lammens done. They are moving on to sign the Royal Antwerp goalkeeper for around the price of 17 to 20 million pounds. What do you make of this potential deal, Victor?
Yeah, I think Antwerp are actually doing the right thing, just milking that cow until it drops. It's obvious United need a goalie, and they're going to get their money's worth for this one. I think they should look elsewhere. Personally, like my assessment is that they should bring someone who's already a top level goalie. The only problem with that is if you're a top level goalie, you don't want to go to United right now because it's too much of a crisis club, has been for a few years now. And if they manage to get this one done for 17, as some of the rumors are saying, that's fine. If they need to push it between 22 and 25, like some other rumors are saying, might as well go for someone who's already established.
Yeah, fair enough. If you remember in some of our past couple episodes, I did say that I was surprised that United are not going for Donnarumma. But then when you think about it, you cannot expect a goalkeeper who just won the Champions League to suddenly join a club that would not even be, taking part in the Champions League. So, yeah, it's a tough one for United.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on, this one's for you, Max. So it seems like every episode we talk about Isak, Newcastle, and whatnot, and unfortunately, it's not going to end until the transfer window is over officially. And now, in recent talks, Eddie Howe remains bullish that Newcastle will not sell Isak to Liverpool as it stands. And now he has also admitted that he and the player they did have talks about the future, about players' future, but still we don't know what was said. What do you think, or how do you think this saga will end?
Actually, I feel like this window he's not going out for sure. Seems like he's probably going to play for Newcastle even until the winter at least. Because I also saw the photos of him being on training sessions of Newcastle, yeah, by himself only, but it's already a move forward. Because before that time he was training with Sociedad and some other clubs. So, but I still feel like Liverpool don't really need him actually because Ekitiki is doing a great job at the team and you already paid 90 mil for this guy and you really want to put 130 more and put him on bench so while he's on fire at the moment at least. So I feel like they should wait and see how he performs until winter. If he's still doing great job, you can just keep him at the club and let Isak play for Newcastle or anybody else. But if he doesn't perform well, yeah, you can try to sign him at winter, and his price will be a bit less probably after all this situation. So yeah, I feel like this.
Hmm. Probably when Liverpool lose to Arsenal at Anfield, they'll be forced to, they'll be forced to just go all out for Isak on the spot.
And
But
not
yeah,
against Arsenal.
No, the thing is, if I may interject here, I don't really agree with the fact that he would be cheaper in winter because if you think about the fact that the season will be in full swing, Newcastle will probably still be in the Champions League by then. I really don't think they would be dropping their asking price in January.
yeah, that's one way to look at it because by January it will become more difficult to find a replacement compared to now. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's another angle actually. But anyways, moving on to yet another rating, still with you, Max. Rates Tyler Diblin to Everton for 42 million pounds plus a sell-on clause for Southampton on a 5-year deal.
I mean, the guy just scored four goals and 3 assists in 44 games for Southampton. And you put 42 mil for this guy. I mean, yeah, he's young. He's probably has a potential, but man, you're putting 42 million in this guy who shown pretty much nothing in Prem last season. I mean, yeah, if you sign him for 15 or maybe 20, yeah, it's a good deal, but for 42, it's like 3 out of 10.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it was slightly overpriced in my opinion, but yeah, probably I feel Everton could have gotten better for 42 million pounds plus the sell-on clause. I feel they could have gotten way better quality than that. But yeah, that's just me. And moving on and over to you, Victor. Wolves have agreed a deal for centre back Ladislav Krejci from Girona over a fee over 26 million pounds. Do you think that is what the club needs at the moment?
It's a really tough one. You know, Wolves need a bit of everything at the moment, and I feel like it's very much an unknown quantity, Craig. He's already 26 and he's only been playing at a high level for one season. At the same time, this career of his has been quite confusing if you look at the positions he's been playing. He's played as far high up the pitch as attacking midfielder, as a number 10 when he was still in the Czech Republic. Now, as a defender, his numbers aren't great either. 26 million pounds to me is way overpriced, especially for a team like Wolves who need more than just one signing at the moment. This isn't going to be like something that okay, they make one signing and they stay in the Prem. No, they need bodies and they need bodies fast. If they lock in 26, 28 million pounds for this one transfer, I'm afraid this is the final nail in the coffin for Wolves. You're muted.
I remember we do have Wolves as one of the clubs that could be relegated this season, and it's scared to think that it won't happen. But yeah, early days, anyways. And just on a final note, Max, Aston Villa have made contact with Christopher Nkunku from Chelsea as an option for the final week of the transfer window. Do you consider this a good option for Villa?
I mean, it mostly depends on the price of the player because yeah, he's a versatile player. Probably he didn't play as good as everybody expected at Chelsea, but he still has a skill that can bring to Villa and probably help them, especially because they don't really have a lot of players in attack, and he can play left wing, right wing, even attacking midfield and striker. So if he goes for like maybe 25 or so, yeah, it could be a good addition for Villa. But if it's gonna be more, I'm not pretty sure.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, I think Liverpool fans should also start getting worried because at this stage, I am convinced that players from the Bundesliga moving to the Premier League, I think they usually don't end up doing well, in my opinion. Like the trend is just the trend is there for you to see. I think
I'd
they don't
say
end up
from
doing well.
I'd say from Leipzig especially.
Yeah, especially from Leipzig, to be fair. So Liverpool fans should put one eye out on Vert, and we'll see. We'll see how that progresses. But anyways, yeah, the transfer window is now in its final week, and as you can expect that clubs are going to rush in, and complete some deals either on a panic or try to just secure second target if they can get their primary target at the end of the day. And of course, we'll be here to give all the best bits, all the latest developments. And after the transfer window ends, we'll give our assessment of the transfer window as a whole and what we think about it.